The girl is violated nightly by her own brother. Her hands are tightly bound as vomit soils the bedsheets. Yet her brother shows no intention of stopping. The girl pleads continuously, but this only excites her brother more. He climbs onto the bed, grabbing her by the throat, satisfied only when he sees her anguished expression. Then he finally releases his grip. Constantly tormented, the girl contemplates suicide. Faced with an approaching train, she lacks the courage to choose death. The girl's name is Asamu, a kind-hearted yet timid individual. She cannot fathom why life is always filled with malice toward her. Upon arriving at school, Asamu discovers her shoe locker filled with razor blades and thumbtacks. After class, she endures a beating from her classmates in the restroom. She has grown accustomed to this life, but her tormentor, Shizuku, is starting to grow weary. Without delay, Shizuku grabs Asamu by the hair, forcing her head into the toilet. Shizuku merely wants to witness how long she can hold her breath. During class, Asamu finds her chair covered in glue. Despite her discomfort, the teacher impatiently urges her to sit. Even when the glue soaks her skirt, nobody in the class shows any sympathy. After school, Asamu finds solace in caring for stray cats on the roadside. It is the only time she experiences a hint of warmth. However, after bidding farewell to the cats, she is unaware that her only emotional refuge has been discovered by the mean girls. Returning home, the dining table is filled with her father's endless praises for her brother, while Asamu sits silently, unable to utter a word. In the middle of the night, she is violated by her brother again, but after her brother leaves in satisfaction, the computer on her desk suddenly lights up with a white glow. A website called Magical Girls appears on the screen. A strange-looking girl appears on the site. She sympathizes with Asamu for what happened to her and offers to give her a gift. Watching the horror on the screen, the timid Asamu immediately turns off the power, but she doesn't know she has become a magical girl herself. The next day, Asamu goes to school as usual. However, something unusual awaits her in her shoe locker, a toy gun and a letter. The letter states that she has become a magical girl and no longer needs to fear others. But Asamu thinks it's just a prank and doesn't pay much attention to it. After class, she is once again subjected to bullying by her classmates. Unexpectedly, a senior student named Kagamitsu intervenes this time. Asamu takes a step back, but the students behind her push her into Kagamitsu's embrace. Summoning all her strength, Asamu manages to break free and run away. She seeks refuge in the parking garage, but she can't escape Kagamitsu's clutches. Just then, Kugi takes out a collar. Asamu immediately recognizes it. It's the collar she gave to the kitten. The cat's death fills Asamu with hatred. She pulls out the toy gun and aims it at Kagamitsu, but this draws ridicule from Kagamitsu and the others. Asamu's pupils gradually turn white, and she pulls the trigger. Kagamitsu and Kugi disappear in an instant. Not far from the train station, a large crowd suddenly gathers to watch. Someone has had a car accident, and it's Kagamitsu and Kugi. The news spreads throughout the entire school the next day. Teachers organize a memorial for the deceased, and a terrified Asamu can only close her eyes, unable to face the truth. However, a pair of eyes has been watching her all along. Shizuku, Kugi's best friend. Shizuku corners Asamu against the wall, knowing that Asamu is responsible for the deaths. She pulls out a utility knife, intending to cut out Asamu's tongue. Desperate, Asamu closes her eyes. When she opens them again, Shizuku appears frozen in place. Suddenly, another hand takes the utility knife away. Asamu slumps down, weak and relieved. It's her classmate Nomura who saved her. Nomura claims to be a magical girl. Her magic ability is to stop time. Nomura can't understand why Asamu, possessing such powerful magic, would endure silently, so she demonstrates how magic should be used. But Asamu can't accept it yet. Nomura hasn't come to save Asamu without a reason. The so-called Magical Girl website was created to help unfortunate girls by granting them magic wands and powers. Asamu's magic wand is the toy gun, which has the ability to instantly teleport objects. Nomura's magic wand is her cell phone, and her ability is to stop time. There are many other magical girls, but not all of them are benevolent. Recently, a magical girl killer has emerged, hunting down other magical girls and stealing their magic wands. The two of them return to Asamu's home. Asamu's brother greets them, although he is well disguised in front of outsiders. But Nomura can tell that Asamu's brother is not what he seems. Nomura then reveals to Asamu that while their magic abilities are incredible, they can't be used limitlessly. Each time they use magic, there is a corresponding price to pay. Just like when Asamu's eyes bled before, her body displays a heart symbol. Every time she uses magic, the heart symbol diminishes until it disappears entirely, signifying the end of her life. But who created the website? Who was that ghost-like person? No one knows. So Nomura decides to join forces with Osamu to find the magical girl killer. On this day, Osamu encounters a girl named Rina on her way home from school. She's the killer who's been hunting magical girls lately. Nomura rushes over and attempts to use magic, but she's a second too slow. Rina has already created a special space with her magic wand, completely isolating them from the outside world. Because Rina has hunted many magical girls, she now has many magic wands, with the most absurd one being a camera. By taking a picture of someone, she can transform into their likeness. It was through the use of this camera that Rina obtained her seductive appearance. Rina then brandishes her magic wand, preparing to shock Osamu as a way to teach her a lesson. A piercing scream fills the air as Osamu collapses to the ground, paralyzed by the electric shock. Osamu has a shadow over her from the last experience, so she doesn't dare to use her magic wand to fight back. Then Rina takes out a hammer and tries to kill her. However, Osamu remains indecisive. Finally, with Nomura's persistent encouragement, Osamu musters the courage to use her magic wand. As the mist clears, Osamu finally escapes the crisis. Their next task is to determine where Rina has been teleported. Osamu carefully ponders the situation and ultimately finds Rina under a bridge. They are able to capture her. Nomura wants to know the reason behind Rina's murders. However, Rina remains silent and withholds any information. Frustrated, Nomura takes out insects and prepares to force them into her mouth, which compels Rina to reveal the truth. It turns out that she has been stealing magic wands to protect herself because a storm is approaching, a storm that will leave no one unscathed. But what exactly is this storm? It turns out that the webmaster found Rina not long ago. The administrator told Rina about a hidden page on the site, and when she clicked on it, she found a shocking sight. One day in the future, there will be a storm, and the world will end. The door to a new world will open. Just as Nomura and Osamu continue their interrogation, Rina, unable to withstand the backlash from the magic wands, coughs up blood and falls unconscious. Nomura and Osamu immediately rush Rina, who is in a coma, to the hospital. Although the doctors inform them that Rina is out of immediate danger, her physical functions resemble those of an elderly person. At present, it seems unlikely for her to regain consciousness easily. Nomura and Osamu discuss what their next steps should be. During this time, Nomura keeps recalling what Rina said and wonders about its meaning. Suddenly, Osamu suggests using magic to awaken Rina. However, they are unaware that the administrator of the website is standing on the rooftop observing them.